Okay, so here's episode number 2 of Driving Out OCD, and I decided to call it Driving Out OCD because I'm driving every single time I'm making these videos because, I don't know, I just feel awkward, and I just pick my nose. I just feel awkward sitting at home with my wife. I feel like she'll make fun of me, but maybe I'll start making videos in my office. So the topic I want to talk about today is exposure therapy. So, and by the way, you're fine. If you need reassurance, you're good. You're at the right place. You're in good company. You're going to be fine. Nothing's wrong with you. No, that thing you're worrying about is not going to happen. Those thoughts can't hurt you. You don't believe me right now. Of course you don't believe me because you're like, Jimmy, I'm in my head right now. You don't know what I'm dealing with. Nope. That same exact fear, the same amount of anxiety that you feel about that thought, everybody else feels about a million other thoughts. So there you go. There you got your reassurance from me. So not that you need it, but sometimes it's okay to hear it. But you should not rely on reassurance. Stop Googling your symptoms. Stop looking into things and trying to figure things out that you probably will never figure out ever, okay? It's good to know certain things, but certain things, when you're obsessing about them and they take up your whole entire life, it's not good. That's not normal, okay? You are 1 out of 99 people. Well, in this case, it's like 3 or 4% of the population has obsessive compulsive disorder. But it's not normal. That's you have you have a disorder, okay? It's not no, you're not special. No, you're not some crazy deep thinker or something like that. We've all had these thoughts, okay? You're supposed to be enjoying life and not like obsessing about ridiculous things, okay? So anyways, I wanted to talk about exposure therapy. I did it yesterday. It's extremely uncomfortable. But I was watching this channel and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a really nice guy. He makes really, really good videos about exposure therapy and OCD in general. And what really helped me out and what really kind of takes the sting out of the obsession is whenever those obsessions or those disturbing thoughts come in, you just got to say, I don't know, maybe, could be, maybe I did that thing, maybe I accepted that thought, maybe I did this, I don't know, could be. When you do that, your brain's not going to know what to do. It's going to be like, wait a minute, what? Wait. You're supposed to push back on this, man. Wait, are you telling me right now that you don't really care about that? What? What's going on here? Whoa. Hold on there. And once you do that, and again, we're physical creatures, right? I believe that we have a consciousness. I believe that we have a spirit and a soul, right? But while we're in these meat suits, right, we have to abide by the laws of the meat suits, right? And we do have a brain. We do have certain parts of our body that try to keep us alive, right? So when you tell yourself that, your amygdala, the smoke alarm, doesn't know what to do. It's now, instead of sending signals to the rest of your brain to panic and to start obsessing about things, it's saying, wait a minute, okay, all right, there's no danger here, okay? So everybody just chill. So, hey, the boss says that there's no danger here. You're the boss, okay? Not the other way around, not the obsession, not the this, not the that, okay? It's all the same. Doesn't matter. Whatever you're obsessing about, you've just created anxiety around that obsession. So whenever you feel like you're anxious, that means that you think that you're in the right place. You're not. You're in the right place when you're relaxed. Okay? That is a normal response. Okay? Not feeling this type of anxiety. Just because you feel this type of just because you don't feel anxiety doesn't mean that the thought's going to happen. Because that's what you're thinking right now. Oh my gosh, I accepted it. Oh my gosh, it's going to happen. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nope, that's just your brain. You've wired your brain to think that if you're in an anxious state, that means that, okay, I'm by me being anxious, I'm stopping whatever I'm obsessing about. Whatever these thoughts are, I'm stopping it because I'm awake, and I'm anxious, and that means that I'm doing the right thing. No, you're not. You gotta be relaxed. No one's supposed to be uptight like that. You did not accept anything, you're fine. You just let the thought go. Let it go. And again, I'm going through this right now. I just went through it yesterday. It's the first time I've ever done really like full-blown exposure therapy, and it was fucking uncomfortable. But man, I was like waiting for it. I'm like, I was telling my wife, I'm like, Lindsay, I'm ready for it. I'm like, I'm just kind of like I'm accepting these thoughts, but I'm just kind of like letting them go by. I'm not fighting them anymore. And I'm like, Lindsay, I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack, right? Pardon my language. But I said, Lindsay, I'm ready for a fucking panic attack. And it didn't happen. I was ready for it. I was like, all right, bring it on, whatever. We got to just do it. Let's do it now. Let's get it over with. And every thought was coming in. Right now I have religious obsessions. I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, did I do this? Did I do this? What if God is this? What if God is this? And I'm just like, maybe. I don't know. Well, I don't really know. We may never know. I don't know. It is what it is. New thought pops in. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. That's uncomfortable because we want to be in control. People with obsessive compulsive disorder, we want to be in control. And what I think it is, because I've always asked this, it's like, I'm not saying I believe in evolution, but I do believe in adaptation. And I'm thinking to myself, what adaptation, like what benefit is it to have obsessive compulsive disorder, somebody who's like extra vigilant, right? And I think it all comes back to the science, is that like, we know that obsessive compulsive disorder absolutely can be passed down through genes. And my father was always very obsessive. He was always very hyper vigilant, and so was my mother. So I didn't stand a chance, right? So I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that maybe that's how my ancestors survived for such a long time. We were just hyper vigilant, right? And maybe your ancestors were the same way. We were just really hyper vigilant, right? We were those people. Think of it this way. Maybe I'm wrong, and again, don't take this. This is just my opinion. But maybe back, when we were in huts, and we were in small tribes or whatever, small towns and everything like that. Maybe we were those hypervigilant people that were, we heard, I guess, when we were walking through the jungle, we had those really good ears, right? We had those really, really sensitive ears where we could hear like a branch snap from like, 200 yards away. And that was a cougar, or that was a bear, or that was a lion. And I don't know, I'm coming up with these thoughts, so I'm like blanking. I don't know where I was going with this, but I think that maybe we're just hyper vigilant, we're just hyper aware, we're just hyper anxious, and that's just kind of what we feel like we need to, how we need to be like to survive, Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why our brains are so hardwired to just constantly be on the lookout for threats. And that's exactly what obsessive compulsive disorder is. That's exactly what anxiety disorder is. And we know that. We can measure that now, We can measure, the prefrontal cortex of a person. Forgive me, guys, if there's any doctors listening. I clean cars for a living. So anyways, I think it's the prefrontal cortex. They've measured people with anxiety or people with obsessive compulsive disorder. The prefrontal cortex is like lit up like a Christmas tree. So, we're just constantly looking for threats. We're on the lookout. Our amygdala, our smoke alarm is extra sensitive, right? Extra. I mean, anything trips that thing up, man. And you can't blame that on yourself. And honestly, you can't even like, if you get mad, like right now, you might be upset, you might be, motherfucking yourself, you might be hating yourself, which don't, please. You gotta love yourself. You gotta be really tender with yourself, okay? God God will forgive you. He knows what you're going through. If you believe in a God or anything like that, He knows what you're going through. Okay, I believe in God, and you gotta you can't be hard on yourself. You gotta just know that, like, hey, I just got some extra sensitive hardware, and just know that you do. We're all different. Okay, we're 100% every single one of us is unique. And you're just a little bit extra sensitive. That's all. You just have a little bit more of a. you and I right now, we would have been those hypervigilant people in that tribe, trying to keep everybody else, including ourselves, alive. Okay, and we just have to know how to turn that off. Okay, it's been passed down for years and years and years and years and years, and we just have to learn how to live with that. How to relax that. And there's absolutely many ways to do that naturally. Medicine, there's a time and a place for medicine, but it should only be a temporary thing. I've taken medicine, and it absolutely does work. Okay, absolutely. I'm a proponent for it, but I think it's exactly that. It should be used exactly for supplement. It should be a supplement, right? That is the textbook definition of a supplement. When you can't do it yourself, you supplement it, right? So use it as a supplement. Do not use it as a cure, because it'll never cure it. Because the only way to cure is to go through the things, be uncomfortable, sit with your obsessions, sit with your anxiety, and you have to unpack it. You have to do the work. You have to do the work, and it's uncomfortable, and it's going to take time. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen probably next week. Maybe not next month. But, maybe. I don't know. Some people are different. It's taken me weeks. I'm on this journey and I'm fucking over it. Okay? And I'm always going to have that smoke alarm that's very sensitive, but I'll know how to, manage it. So, anyways, I don't know where I went with that. I kind of go off on tangents and stuff like that. But yeah, you cannot be mad at yourself. You were dealt with this hardware, and it's what kept you alive, and you should be thankful. Okay, be thankful for your body. Be thankful for all these things. They're not working against you. You think that they are because of the feeling that you get. You get this feeling of dread. You sometimes feel suicidal. Sometimes you feel like you're frozen with fear, and sometimes you feel like you just cannot enjoy life, and you're mad at yourself, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I wasn't like this. It's like, no, you got it wrong. It's like your brain's trying to protect you, because again, you're the boss. You're the one that tells it to obsess about that. You're the one that tells it to be worried about that, and then when you run away from those thoughts, or when you don't work through those thoughts, then you're just fanning the flame of obsessive compulsive disorder and anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. Let's throw that one in there. It's all the same shit, right? You have this, and it's not exclusive to veterans. It's absolutely not. People can have a post-traumatic stress disorder from a number of different things, right? If you had a panic attack or something, that's what happened with me. That's where my post-traumatic stress disorder came from, was having my first panic attack. I thought I was fucking dying. It was like the worst fucking thing that ever happened. It was terrifying. And ever since then, I that's what caused me to, have triggers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then you hear that a lot with Vietnam veterans, or people who have been in abusive homes and everything. You hear about triggers, and so throw that into the mix. So anyway, sorry, I'm driving. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I don't know. I feel like I think a little bit clearer. It gives me something to do on the way back from the spa. And we'll talk about that too, because there's natural ways to, and I'll make a different video. I'll make a different video on that, but there's going to be natural different ways. I'm not on medication right now. But like I said, I'm all for it. If you need to do it for a couple weeks, even or like a month, just to if your anxiety is on a scale, if your anxiety from a scale of 1 to 10 is like an 11, then I think it's okay for you to take medication. I'm not a doctor. Of course, discuss that with your doctor. But if your anxiety levels are getting to the point where they're like you can't even think anymore, then it's probably not a bad idea to just take a little bit of the edge off, take some edge. Cut a little bit of the edge off is what I'm trying to say. There's natural ways to reduce your anxiety, 100%. I mean, I've done it naturally where I've gone from literally 10 to like 0, but you have to work at that, and it's like a muscle that you have to constantly exercise. And if you're not able to do that, then you might need a little bit of help. So, but yeah, I am a proponent for medicine. I did take medicine earlier on in the year. When we found out that my father was diagnosed with cancer, I lost it. I literally was beside myself, and I was at the point where I was literally on a scale of 1 to 10 anxiety. I was like at 12, So I took some medicine. I'm really thankful for that. I'm really glad I did. It gave me side effects that I did not like at all. So just be prepared for that. You're gonna get side effects most of the time. One of them being feeling really or feeling less anxious. That's the best one. But the other ones are not good. I had I felt like I was peeing too much. I was constipated. It was just I lost my appetite, and I felt like extremely numb. Like, I'm very hypersensitive to any types of drugs or anything. I don't do drugs. I smoked pot for a little while, which didn't help with anxiety. Please don't do that. You're doing yourself a disservice. If you can't handle that shit, don't fucking do it. I don't even drink coffee anymore. It's too much for me. Certain pharmaceuticals work different for everybody. I'm very hypersensitive to everything like that. But yeah, I'm a proponent of it. Forget what everybody else says. Now, if you're on it for multiple years, that could be, then you could come into, the long-term side effects of taking medicine and stuff like that. But for the short term, just to cut the edge off a little bit, absolutely. If you're at that level on a scale of 1 to 10, and you're like off the chart, 11 or 12, take it. It's okay. Okay. But again, use it as a crutch. Don't use it as a cure. It will not cure you. It will not cure you. The only thing that can properly cure you, and you can get cured from this, is by working through it, going to therapy, talking about it, talking to yourself, Exposure therapy, what I'm going through right now. It's uncomfortable. And it's going to be uncomfortable. But you got to do the work. You are the only person that can do the work, right? That's the thing. We're all in our own bodies. We're all in our own minds. We're in this all together, but, only you know your thoughts and can work through your thoughts properly. And you have to put in the work. So you cannot depend on a medication to do all the work for you, because you have unresolved trauma, and that's exactly what it is. It's just unresolved trauma. Something disturbed you so much that you just could not stop thinking about it. You kept trying to close the box, but the box lid kept opening, and it kept saying, "I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here." And that box is that I think most of us that have obsessive compulsive disorder is just uncertainty. But you got to step back from that. And I don't like uncertainty either. But you have to have a positive mindset. Put your faith in God. I put my faith in God, and I also have, God gave me a mind and a brain and consciousness and everything. So I have a positive. You have to have a positive mindset. So, So hopefully this helps. Hopefully 20 minutes is not too long. If you guys want me to make them a little bit shorter, let me know. I need all the feedback that I can. I'm doing this to help myself number one, and then number two, to help everybody else who's gone through the same shit that I've gone through. Because you know what, I don't want none of you guys fucking dealing with this shit. It's a fucking, you know, I know it. I've been there. I've been down that road, man. And I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like I'm still dealing with it, but I'm slowly unraveling my condition and going through the steps to properly cure myself. You know, and you know. So I'm doing it for me, but I'm also doing it for you because I do love you. I don't want you to feel that way. You're not alone. You're fine. Relax. Okay? So yeah, I need all the feedback that I can to grow this channel and hopefully help out, even if I can help out one fucking person. One person. Forgive me for my language. I like swearing. They're my sentence enhancers, right? But even if I can help you or anybody, even if I give you a little bit of like lift from that like heavy burden, then I've done a little bit of my job. Then I've done something. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, give me some input. Like, subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying that. Like, subscribe, and then you know, get on the bandwagon. We're all on this journey together, and yeah, I don't want to miss any of your achievements or anything like that. And put in the comments what you're dealing with, and you know, I'll see you on the next one. Maybe next time we'll talk about natural ways to alleviate anxiety without medication. So peace.